Morning. Come, have a seat. What your problem?
School of Nursing.
Yeah, good. Right, yes, everything right. Okay, a very good morning, ladies and one gentleman at the back. It's a pleasure to see all of you here today. Today's session is actually held on a hybrid manner, where we have our physical audience over here and our Penang colleagues logging in virtually. All right, so my Penang colleagues, can you hear me loud and clear? You can see the slides?
Yes, I can hear loud and clear, but the slide, yes, I can see it on.
All right, thank you very much. See, that's the beauty of technology. Yeah, once we have a well set, guys, come join us. Very good morning. More of them are coming in. Okay. Oh, very much welcome, guys. Very good morning. Come. Jangan jauh-jauh. Kita lagi. So, tak payah table. Listen to me kan jadi. Yeah.
Because it kept all right.
Yay. Okay. So for today's session, we are going to make it a very interactive, fun session. We are going to discuss and talk about the principles of OBE and assessment. For many of you, this is not the first time that you are going through, so it is a very good refresher. Well, some of you, this should be the first time. My name is Gabriel. For many of you, I think all of you will know who I am. All right. So hello, a very good morning. Now, today's session, we need to understand that OBE, or outcomes-based education, is a very generic term. It is not a term that is basically set for one rule. All right? No, it is not. OBE doesn't mean must follow one way. The more literature you read about it, you'll be finding that it has different definitions. It has different understanding. It is how the institution uses OBE, understands it, and implements it on itself that makes it differ from what is being practiced in other institutions. For example, the way we practice OBE in our practice may be different from how Taylor's practice OBE, may be different from how Sunway practice OBE. That doesn't mean that any one of us are wrong. It means that we interpret it in that way and it fits our institutional belief and understanding. Okay, like for some of you, my friend, and from engineering school over there, they are experts in OBE. Why? Engineering board requires very, very strict adherence to OBE principles, and for them it is different. Why? Engineering board already set key elements of what students must achieve. All right, so it's different. Nursing board also you all have, right? So nursing board also OBE very strong, and many other disciplines itself. So I think it is important for us to really understand that OBE doesn't mean only one rule. It is different. The way you read, the more literature that you read, you will get more confused. But that is how learning is. So welcome. Very happy that all of you managed to take your time here today. Now let me explain to you how it will go. Today's session, I plan to finish by 12. I know it is planned to be 1, but by 12 we'll finish. See, I can see Richard smiling there already. It's Friday, I understand. And through it, I will give you a break or breaks depending on how the process goes. At any one time, you all need to leave for the toilet, please go ahead. Don't wet the floor and just walk. Just silently go out and silently come back and you'll be good. All right. And anytime you would like to ask, just raise your hands and we will share. Over in Penang is also the same. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, just ask the question, then our Penang colleagues will also benefit from it. Okay, so what are our LOs or LO, lesson learning outcomes for today? In brief, what is OBE? Why is it important? Then OBE, UOW, MKDU or UOW Malaysia. Okay, I want to stress on that it is our day. It is our day. All right, how we practice it. And of course, we are going to discuss a little bit about assessment because assessment is criteria in OBE. When we talk about OBE, outcomes-based education, how do you define whether a student achieved outcome? You need to assess them, and your assessment needs to be accurate, precise, relevant to ensure that you're assessing the right thing. All right. So if you are your learning outcome is ability to speak in public, don't give them written exam. Because written exam doesn't evaluate speaking in public. So that is what we're going to discuss. Because a lot of us fall to the same trap. When we set our syllabus, when we set starting on the semester, we think, after assessment, what? Traditionally, I do exam, 60-40. So in your mind, already exam. But exam may not be the best way to evaluate that learning outcome. So today we will talk a bit. Now, no way is this 3 hours going to encompass everything about OBE. If I can, then I am a CU already, but I'm not. I'm only a practitioner and a learner. But it will touch on key aspects. And from today onwards, slowly I will have other sessions that will go a little bit on in depth. All right, I have futures lessons and sessions that we are going to look into NQF, Malaysia's Qualifications Framework 2.0. Tahu what? That one so much related to OBE. Because our ministry itself, if you look at our ministry's documents, very OBE focused. Very good. Implementation, like Zeta document, I really read it. I find it very good. NQA, very good documents, a lot. Implementation in a story, I want to say that. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. So I think it's important for us to understand a little bit of history. There's this guy called William Bill Spaley. He's also known as the father of OBE. He started writing on this, and basically he came up with this understanding about what OBE is and how it could, in a way, benefit learners. Okay, so under OBE is founded on these 3 premises or these 3 key principles. OBE, number 1, all students can learn and succeed, but not at the same day in the same way. According to William Spaley, every individual, you, me, her, we all can succeed, but longer lah. Some student, you cakap 10 kali, dia faham 1 kali. Some student, pandai punya sini, cakap 1 kali, faham terus. But we need to go through that process. Every student can succeed, but depending on the process. All right. So if that comes into your mind already, so basically what is important here is every individual or student is different. So when I say that statement over here, what as you all as educators, what should ring in your mind? Which component of your role as an educator is impacted by this? Which one do you think will now impact you already or rings a mind the way that you do? But which one? Because students learn differently, so delivery. That means delivery cannot be generic. Correct, right? Cannot be generic. So maybe not visual, not just oral, but it needs to be visual. All right, or it needs to be practical. Or it needs to use all the various senses. How many of you have tried explaining a garlic to a student who do not know what a garlic is? Garlic. Susah, susah. We all know because we have learned through our upbringing, we tried. But if you want to explain taste, how do you explain taste on garlic?
Yeah.
So we use different senses, we use different methods. What is the best way to demonstrate garlic? Ben? Sorry, I don't have it. So I'll call Ben answers. Very good. Show. Lagi. Taste. Very good. Smell. Taste. Sight. You are using how many senses? 3 senses. The more senses you use, the higher or the easier the absorption is going to be. So this is what makes them they can succeed. But different time, different method. So some student class only tak boleh on tunjuk. Early childhood alright, how we explain to the student. Okay. We just completed our full accreditation visit last week. The NQA officers, you know what I asked our students to do? Lari.
Yeah.
Because part of syllabus, no, it's not bad. It is part of learning. How do you communicate with children? You don't communicate like what I'm doing a lecture. You demonstrate. So the person asks these students, if you want to communicate with the student in dance, what do you do? So our student demonstrate dance. Not in the same way, because they are early childhood students. That is OBE. Senang kan? Okay, habis. See you guys. Bye. So, success is success. If OBE outcomes based success is success, it motivates the individual to want to do better. You do well, happy. I pat you on the back, well done. You're happy, you continue. That is that drive, that's that motivation and push. And 3, school controls the condition of success. You guys controls the condition of success. Your approach to the student, your method that you use, the institution's environment has an impact on success. Just picture, you go to room, aircon tak ada. Cikgu, the best. Aircon tak ada. What's happening in the student's physiological condition? Panas, sweating, thinking. Yeah. School control check. Okay. Noisy. Student very good want to learn. Kawan jahat. Non-stop nak jahat. Cikgu, don't control. Jadi jahat-jahat. Okay. That is what it is. So sometimes we always think, many times we always think, oh, cikgu yang the success of the student. Not only that, the environment, the timing, the conditions all play a critical role. That is why last time during in the 80s, the Malaysian government has this project susu sekolah. Pernah dengar?
Yes.
Why? Well, now a lot of students who are malnutrition, don't not enough nutrition. So they have these kind of things to ensure that when the student comes, they have enough. Then you can think. That is OBE. That's right. Okay. That's why class 12 to 2, susah sikit. Student thinking about what? Micro already. Condition is not effective for the all right. Any questions? Good. So when we talk about OBE, outcomes-based education, I'm going to break this into 3 elements over here. Number 1, outcomes. Outcomes will be the what transpires after going through a process. That is the outcome. When you are making a cake, the outcome is the cake. Not the putting the eggs, not the choosing the eggs, not the sieving the flour, mixing, masuk oven. That is called P word. Very good process. We go through a process, ensure correct outcome. When you look into the process itself, let's say making a cake, is it only important when you mix the ingredients? No, what is also important? Before you make a cake, you not only mix the ingredients, you need to take one step back. What? Get the ingredients. So when you get the ingredients, you need to go and buy. Like example, let's say you make butter cake, you make black forest and something eggs. You go to kedai, are there only one type of eggs? There are many types of eggs. Grade A, double A, triple A, C, D, telur uni, and so on. Will it impact the outcome?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I want to stress. We tend to forget that. When we talk about outcomes over there, it is from the beginning. The process, I want to teach. So the outcome is I want my students to attain knowledge. That is it, and demonstrate that knowledge. I myself must have the right ingredients. So as an educator, what ingredients are we talking about? Very good. Knowledge, come on. Let's expand on the word knowledge, ma'am. Not only knowledge, but
Experience.
relevant knowledge. I knowledge masak, tapi ajak accounting masih juga. Lagi? Application, not up to date knowledge. How many of you did your degree or your education more than 20 years ago? I put up my hand first. I did my degree in 97.
Yes.
Some of you malu to put up your hand because you think you're old. Richard, don't worry, we know. Okay, right now, how many of us, honestly, as educators, we still use, because we've been trained, we still use the same thing? Now, nursing may be different. Like if you give injection, since the same 50 years ago and today may be the same. I don't know. But certain things in my field, 5 years obsolete. 5 years obsolete.
Yeah.
Computing, 3 years obsolete. Betul. So that is ingredient. Ingredient. You know why, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, because we fall back to comfort. When we fall back to comfort, means when we develop our syllabus and we go on, we fall back to our training. When we fall back to our training, that is what I was trained when I do my degree, when I do my master's. But continue with our class, and then it's not what we want to teach. It's what the students should learn. What we want to teach is sometimes we are comfortable, we teach them. If I to teach computing, last time I did learn SQL, sequential query language. Today, no point already, right? Nobody learns that already, I believe.
Yeah.
This was like, no more, right? But if that is what I want to teach and I'm comfortable, I will teach that. That is not what is important. OBE stress, this is critical. What students should learn. And what students should learn, guys, is for what? What students should learn. So if a student joins a degree in business, he joins in 2024 this year. What are you preparing the student for? 2024? Future. Bila dapat degree? 3 years down the road. 2027 and beyond. So that is what students should learn. You must always remember that. That is why I'm going to stress a lot on curriculum and program review later. Sometimes I see the reports when it comes to my table, the program review, curriculum review, aku nak cekik orang. Okay, PEO is so critical. Program educational objective. So very good, and it is what the students should learn. So this is what OBE is. Simple as that. We make sure students are relevant. We make sure students are kept abreast. We make sure students have the required knowledge so that they will be relevant individuals for the future. So when you look at OBE versus traditional education, content-based learning system, passive students. Last time, remember, when we go to school, teacher go in first day, I'm gone. You listen to me. Betul kan? We all takut. If cikgu cakap macam itu. Assessment process, exam, grade given. OBE, active learners. Active learners lah. Feedback. I'm getting feedback from you now, even though you don't open your mouth. My friend is nodding his head. He said generally for 99% of the individuals means understand. 1% maybe the other way around, but it's normally understand. This is feedback. All right. So this is it. Critical thinking, reasoning, reflect, and action. Why is this so? All right. Integration of knowledge. Right. Integration of knowledge. Now, why I want to say that? I want to stress on this. Some of you may do readings. You say, yeah, I do reading. Careers of the future, what is going to grow? I can put two at the moment now. One is genomics. Genomics is the study of DNA, so that we hope we'll be able to cure certain things that normally we couldn't do previously. And today it is very significant because with AI assists, reduces a lot of time, number one. Number two is alternative power or energy sources. Alternative energy sources is the future. So business school may say, hey, nothing to do with my discipline. God got a lot to do. What? People need to market that product. Correct, right? So it's related. School of social science or school, social science, they say, yeah, nothing to do with my discipline. Or science, God. Customers of people's behavioral aspect, legal aspect on genomics, law school also got impact. So what I'm trying to say is this. It doesn't mean that the future, everything's on AI, or business school got nothing to do, we got no courses. No, God. Because these particular demands have a chain reaction that impacts the other disciplines also. It's how we look at it. All right. So I just want to put a stress on genomics, something that we will do. What can do in the next 3-4 years, you will see a leap on genomics due to AI for one and technology for another. The power of computing will impact or allow for a lot to be done. So business school, there are a lot of things that you can look at. Early childhood, also a lot of things that you can look at, so on. Okay. Paradigm shift in the education and training philosophy. So this is where the shift is from teacher-centered learning, saya, to student-centered learning, teacher to facilitators. I always put that. No more are we cikgu, but we are facilitators. To facilitate is to ensure achievement of goal by the process of assistance. Assistance, not hold your hand. Is when you walk, you the pesong, I push you back in again. That is facilitation. So that when you go out a little bit, I push you back, I learn why. But if I hold your hand all the way through, you don't learn why. Why? So that is facilitation. Okay. Now, a little bit on stats. Not stats, a bit of some data I was reading. Okay. Now, key skills employer are looking for this by this very popular website called Prospect, June 2023. Look at what are the key skills. 1, communication. 2, resilience. Resilient. Okay. What is resilient? Resilient is you join engineering firm, but at the end of the day, you do marketing. I'm an engineer. Why? The market changes. I still remember BAC, one of the school under my college. I had a chat with the heads. They tell me, hey, do you know what the accounting firms are looking for in our student marketers? You heard about that, right? Marketers. That means picture, you get ACCA, you go, you work in Price Waterhouse, you need to be a marketer. So why? Customers, man. That is the evolution of the role. Okay, that is the evolution of the role. Resilience, able to change. Commercial awareness. Where can make money? Where can make money? That is important. Nursing school. Now I have to think, yo, Jerry, intake not so good. Actually, I wouldn't want to say not so good. Not so means it was a little bit good. Not good at all. Never mind. What else can we do? What do you have? You have your facilities, you have your expertise. What can we do? You cannot do formal programs, MQF programs. What about professional courses? You see not, because you have facilities. What do they want? Macam tu lah. That is what they want. Leadership, adaptability, so and so on. Over here, New Zealand government. New Zealand government in their website, July 2023, they tell the people, I like this website, they actually tell the people, hey guys, you need this. And the first thing they put, positive attitude. The attitude is important. Technical skill is the degree that you carry out, your first class degree. In your class, 30 people will get all degrees. But you will already know this fellow will succeed. Why? Positive attitude. You know this person ada kesusahan, you will know how to overcome. That is what attitude is. Communication, teamwork, self-management, willingness, thinking skills, and so on. Thinking skills, they only put here. Thinking is your cognitive skills. This one, if you go to university or you attain the skill, but this one, these things like working in groups. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, and because of this, when we talk about OBE, outcomes based, we need to make sure we prepare our students to achieve this. That is the outcome. Itu yang penting. Itu yang penting. All right. So different country, very different. They have different skills kind of thing. As this is an addition to what I stressed earlier on: problem solving, teamwork, communication, adaptability, and so on. All right. So evolution of education is highly driven because evolution of the employee. Companies today are different. Gone are the days of 9 to 5. We are looking at work anytime. We are also looking at work anywhere, slowly evolving. Let me tell you, we were hybrid. We went during MCO, we went online then. Okay, then slowly we came back physical. Every month I have meeting with all the partner universities, Hong Kong, Dubai, Australia, and us. Okay, Hong Kong say, my student like face to face. Malaysia say, our student prefer face to face. Australia say, our student want to go back to online. Why not? Then we do demographic research. In Australia, a lot of their local students are working individual. In Hong Kong and Malaysia, our students are full-time students. You see the difference there? Hong Kong said, I mean, in Hong Kong, memang student macam kita lah. But in Australia, they're working. So they said, I want the flexibility. I need to work for money, to pay. This is what it is. So when we look into the evolution over here, we need to also see, okay, different, it's very different now. There are certain institutions, certain places, and how we drive them. Okay, and it goes on. So this is the future over here, customized work, shared information, and so on. So we need to prepare our students to achieve that. We need to prepare our students to be ready as future employees for future employers. Future employers are different. Okay, look at your own discipline. Engineering, ECE, business, nursing, computing. What do the employers want now? What are the different things that they want? I still remember when I was in hotel school, I always tell my students, guys, all of you here in your class, I teach them 50 or above. After you graduate, now you're best friend. After you graduate, you guys are competitors. You're going to fight with yourself. You're going to backstab yourself. I'm just joking with them. Because Hilton will want 2 management training, and all of you want, and there are 50 of you. Who will get that? And all of you got your degree. Who will get that? So I always tell my students, you need a differentiating factor. A differentiating factor is what makes us different from my competitor. And that is OBE, outcomes-based, because we want our students to be different from competitor. So you know what I tell them? Paling senang punya, learn languages. Languages. Malaysia, we are best. English, PM not bad, but PM I can curse very well. Then we have our own dialects, Hokkien, Cantonese, Mandarin tak boleh lah. At least 3-4 lah, Malaysian. Alright? Alright. You ask, a lot of the European countries want. The French definitely want, and half the English. Right? So that's a differentiating factor. So when this differentiating factor is, so if, let's say you can learn Japanese and whatever, when Hilton interviews you, wow, you got degree first class, you got degree, you can speak 6 languages. From KTU, very good. Taylor, speak 2. Then, oh, recorded that live. I will take this one now. Why? Employer employs you on risk calculation. I do not know she's good, you know, but because she can speak 6 languages, the risk factor goes down. It's all a science. Employment is a science. You want to reduce the risk. That's what we tell students, outcomes-based. So it's our role now. That means, even nursing school, you may need to add in more languages, maybe, you know, something extra. It may not be part of the 90 credits for your degree diploma, but something extra to make sure the students are competent. Okay. So general philosophy is, when we talk about outcomes, we need to look at curriculum design. Curriculum design is very important. We need to look at process. We need to look at assessment. Curriculum design is write the recipe. Never making the cake, you write the recipe. Teaching and learning is sourcing ingredients and converting the ingredients into the product. Assessment is looking at your benchmark. This is what my cake is supposed to be. Macam ini. This is the reality. Oh my God. Itu assessment lah. And this can only do well if you don't screw up here. You buat salah sini ada ya. You are assessing the wrong thing. You want to make cake, tapi recipe untuk nasi lemak. Cake will never come out. You see, so that's where curriculum design is. I don't want to say something like that. I just have to say it. Program standard. Aku benci program standard. Betul? Okay, this is between us. I mean, I'm telling OBE, I'm not saying I benci program standard. Program standards to be changed online. Market change. Then you see a program standard published 2018. Sebelum MCO. But still must ikut program standard. Nursing tak? Updated lah. I have seen program standard that the last update in 2018. Ada kan? Ada. Mana boleh? Then when you do you are, and because OBE, you come against that, then the person will come and check, tak boleh, program standard cakap macam tu, you kena buat macam tu. That is our difficulty in certain aspects. But this is how it should be. Okay, to be relevant, that is how it is. Next, relevance of OBE. Quality assurance audit by the Ministry of Education. MQF emphasis on learning outcomes. If you look at the MQF document, a nice document, guys, very MQF 2.0, very good document. It shows it's basically stressing on learning outcome. Apa yang perlu dicapai oleh students, very important. Accreditation required for professional programs and professional bodies emphasizes on learning outcomes. Engineering, nursing, and so on. Learning outcomes is the most important. Nursing especially, student can tell you, sir, I know how to give vaccination. Cakap saja no point, you want to see you do it. And that is OBE lah, demonstration lah. Anybody can say, right now, engineering also the same. Sir, I got the skills to build a bridge. You better show me a sample. Don't just say, because in reality, when you build, it collapses, habis, mati. That is very important. And let me tell you, if you look at the new program standards that are coming out, a lot of them requires that really. They want to be very clear on that learning outcomes achievement. Okay. So real benefits of OBE, anticipation of real benefits, more directed and coherent curriculum. Your curriculum will be more directed and coherent. That is relevant then. So your curriculum will be set in such a way that at the end of the day, students do achieve. 2. Graduates should be more relevant to industry and other stakeholders. Relevance of student, not easy for institution. Relevance of student. Graduate, keluar, orang nak, I want because they're good. I want because they're good. 3. Continuous quality improvement, C2I, is an inevitable consequence. C2I. Why? Because we agree kan? Industry, is important for industry. We agree that it is more directed curriculum. That means we must agree that there's more C2I. A lot of you are kids over here. Ask yourself, when was the last time you reviewed your PE? Before MCO and after MCO, do you think program educational objectives have changed? Sure change. Before MCO, the world was flowers, rainbows. So the PEO was developed to meet that. After MCO, the world has evolved. Still got flower. Alright, okay. Still got, but different. Because it's different, the future is different. How can you use your same PEO? That is the thing that I'm going to stress, especially this afternoon. We are going to have a session with the aides and so on. Guys, you have to look into it. Have to look into it. Now, why do we not change, guys? Because it's not easy. When you change, you need, before you change, what do you need? Before you change, data. Can you tell me what's going to happen in Malaysia in 2030? I cannot. Forecasting market. Cannot, not easy. So you need to have enough information to make proper decision. You need to speak to advisory board. You need to speak to people in industry. You need to read to journals. You need to read about people who are called futurists. Futurists are people who they are not soothsayers and future and telltale. They are people, learned people who say what can actually happen in the future. Then we know what is important to stay relevant. Okay. OBE is an educational process. Directed focus on achieving certain specific outcomes in terms of individual students' learning. Outcomes. When we talk about OBE, there will always be outcomes over there. Key things students should understand and be able to do, or the qualities they should develop. Those are the key things. That is the outcome. At the end of the day, both structures and curricula are designed. The structure and the curriculum are designed to achieve that goal. And educational structure and curriculum are regarded as means, not end. Your curriculum and your structure is the mean. It is your portal. It is a map. The end is the outcome of the student. That is why in OBE, if your class don't understand and you're required to sing to them, you sing to them. Nyanyi, nyanyi, nyanyi lah. Because that is the only way to achieve the outcome. Singing is means, is the process now. So that is what it is. That is how we do it. Okay. OBE is a process that involves disrupting of the curriculum, assessment and reporting practices in education to reflect the achievement of higher order learning and mastery rather than accumulation of course credits. So amongst expected changes, so now we are looking at the understand OBE, what are the, when you practice this, there are certain changes that happen, definitely. Like, I want to practice a healthy life. Those in the health field, you know, and can I just say I want to be healthy and tomorrow I'm healthy? No, I need to go through a process. Number one, cut down on foods. 2, exercise. That is process lah. So for us to achieve our OBE, now we understand it is the future of student. The curriculum restructure. Okay, because the curriculum is the what recipe, right? The recipe to achieve student achievement. Recipe salah. So I give you another example of recipe to stress on this. Traditionally, if you are making cake, one portion of black forest cake, you need 3 eggs. Dulu telur, 1 egg is, let's say, 20 gram. Just tebak 20 gram. Today, telur become 15 gram. Can I say 3 eggs? I must say 4 eggs. This is what it is. Why? Why do I not change the recipe from 3 eggs to 4 eggs? Because the egg has shrunk. Same thing. Why do we need to change our curriculum? Are we getting the same students? No. We have students now who are very tech savvy. We have students now who may know more than us in certain things. So we need to change so that they themselves will be able to adapt accordingly and to suitable for them. Okay. Innovate flexible delivery methods. The delivery method can evolve due to the changing customer. You can evolve in the method of delivery. No wrong. We at UOW Malaysia we practice 70-30. Tahu tu tadi. Tak tahu balik negosi. 70, we are supposed to go 30%. Blended. Blended doesn't mean online again. Doesn't mean totally classes online, you know. That doesn't mean blended. Blended can mean using SIM, self-instruction materials. Students learn on their own, like you do Coursera. Itu blended. Do you know that we here, how many of you go to Facebook and learn things? Never. Not Facebook, sorry, YouTube. Not. Sometimes I used to go and I go. Itu blended. You go and learn time. You learn that one you open time. That one you know right now. Right now, we learn, we want to see how to do this, especially disassembling and disassembling. We learn. You know, I do wiring on my own hero. Yeah, and it gives example. I do wiring on my own. So sometimes itu color, itu neutral lah, itu sampai pening sikit. So you look at internet. But I learned something. Internet punya standard itu US ke UK standard itu warna lain kat Malaysia. And Malaysia, many times our contractors don't follow warna lain. Main tembak kan. Itulah innovative, flexible delivery method. 3, variety of assessment and evaluation method. Assessment need to evolve. The 60-40 kasih buang. In our mind, exam is to only evaluate cognitive knowledge kind of processes. Engineering school, you have the final year project, the capstone kan? Yes. Ada kan? Guys, I think you all will come out with a workshop, speak with them, each other. Some of them are already practicing. That's good. Capstone is one project. Boleh? Boleh lah. Boleh lah. Capstone is one project that encompasses many learning outcomes. And it is the best demonstration of OBE. Student boleh buat itu, dia sudah prove to you, saya boleh buat. Hey. Actually, they want to do, but no choice. Engineering what pastor dia orang buat. I know. Right lah. But it's good. It's very good. We have to think of it this way. Salah ke tak? Tak. If business school implement that, I can match you when M2A come and do audit, you pat me on the back. Very good. Susah tau. But you all do what? Very good. This is going forward. ECE, you can think about it. It's impossible. Okay. Collection of evidence. OBE must collect evidence. You cannot just hear students say, sir, I'm good, means you're good. No, there must be cookie to show that you're good. So there must be a method. And of course, CQI, closing the loop. I always stress this. Okay, close the loop. Close the loop is this. Implement, assess, feedback. If tak baik, go back to implementation. Apa yang perlu ditukar? Don't, you buat ready 1 bulan ready tak baik tak pernah senang buat lagi lah. Buat lagi lah. Why? You want to change susah lah. Just buat lagi lah. Do the same thing. Okay. And always evidence. Okay, and over there, so I need to stress the evidence. Everything you do, just put in evidence. Evidence doesn't mean journals and journals. It could be an Excel sheet. Apa yang tukar, kenapa ditukarkan. Itu saja. Evidence must have. And the evidence will demonstrate you guys have put thought in it. Itu saja. Okay. Okay. So when we talk about the OBE process, sekarang kita ada proses kita. Okay, not. I want to go for break. Okay. If you okay, okay. Very good. And I lecture my class for macam ni dia. Alright. Sudah dekat. Sir, semua berikan. Okay. So OBE process. 4 things. Always remember. Plan, develop, implement, evaluate. After, always remember guys, like OBE, after you implement anything, there must be evaluate. So when you are, let's say you are baking a cake, evaluation part is what?
Tasting.
Looking. Evaluate. Planning. When you plan, curriculum, academic level. Plan the curriculum. So this is sorry. PEO. First thing, PEO. Program educational outcomes or objectives, depending on what individual educational outcomes or objective. PEO is so important. It is what the students must have to demonstrate after they graduate and 4 to 5 years after that. It is called relevancy. Relevancy is when the student take your degree. Selepas dia ambil hari ini, the degree must be valid for 4 hingga 5 tahun selepas itu. If it is not valid on the first day they take the degree, they can use it as pilot paper. No point. That is very important. Okay, first thing, so in your mind, okay. After you do PEO, only you come up with your program learning outcome. So for them to achieve that PEO, they must have program learning outcome. The outcome of these programs are structured so that they will achieve that PEO. If I want my student, my key PEO is to be ethical individuals who are good to society. So my PLO, I will emphasize on ethical behavior. Betul? So that's what PLO. Sekarang, dulu PLO ada 8. Sekarang kita praktis apa? The 5 clusters. And the 5 clusters, we divide it into the 11 sub-clusters. Betul? Betul lah? Unless your program standard states otherwise. But even though your program standard states 9 PLOs, if you do plotting, it's exactly the same to the 5. Menyusahkan kita saja. But it's actually 5 clusters divided into the sub-clusters. Can remember the sub-clusters? Knowledge, cognitive, interpersonal, personal, communication, digital, numerical, entrepreneurship, leadership, ethics. Satu lagi saya sudah lupa. Sampai pada dalam. See, I'm human. So, okay, betul kan? Understand kan? Understand kan? Very good. Okay. After you do your planning already, so planning sudah cantik. Sorry. Ali, any question?
Nanti dulu saya tahu. Need to set for the speed.
Oh, you use a screen. Hilang.
For the online one.
Oh, okay. Terkendala sebentar. This is like a RPM. Siaran. Sebentar. Okay, guys. So far so good. Yeah, nah. Last week we had the FA for early childhood. Dia orang tanya our students, what are the PEOs? What are the PLOs? How would our students know? Yes. So, students, but our students pandai to ensure that they didn't one by one, but they explain like a paragraph like we will be this and that and then they also ask the staff, and the best thing is they ask the staff answer PEO, or this is what they did. Then they ask, apa makna PEO? Tak tahu. They know the PEO because they hafal, but they tanya what is the abbreviation, what is the meaning of PEO? Yeah, just try to say that educational objectives are important. Yeah. Okay, thanks again. Alright, so we have read about planning, first stage, planning. So this one, higher level. This is where the curriculum experts will sit down and go, your team lah, your team lah. So like in business school, we have those who are more or less a finance degree, or a finance one, and so on, high level. Then this is the developing. After you got the plan already, PEO sudah ada, then now we create planning. So for us to achieve this PEO, we need to put in EC, and that are called courses. Courses. So in Malaysia, courses are defined by credits. And credits, each credits are defined by notional learning hours. One credit samaan 40 notional learning hours. Simple as that. What is notional learning? Notional learning is a time taken to achieve that one credit. It can be face-to-face assignment, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if it is 3 credit, 3 kali 40, if 120. So if 120 3 credit, face-to-face, let's say you are doing 30 face-to-face, so you remainder with another 90. You can do many things like self-learning, assessment, assignment, and so on. The general rule of thumb is this. The higher level you go, tahap 8, 7, face-to-face may go down. The lower level you are, certificate, please go more face-to-face. It is not wrong. Okay, I'm explaining on OBE, not cost factor. Piece of school, they will make noise, so it should be expensive. It is not wrong if it is 3 credit to even have 4 hours of face-to-face a week or 5 hours a week. Why? Very low certificate. It's not wrong, no, because it's certificate, they need to have more for that. But of course, we don't do that. Bankrupt return. It's not wrong. I'm not saying it's not wrong. By process of OBE, it's not wrong. Okay, so that is how it is. Okay. So under curriculum, here we look into course learning outcome. We don't create a syllabus. No, what's the outcome? The outcome for business school doing marketing. What is the keperluan? Do they need to do marketing or not? Do. Then after that, you come up with the outcome. Let's say, this one. Yeah. So under Bachelor of Business, that's OBE. So they say marketing is important, HR is important generally. Why is it important? Because under the PLO states that marketing and this part is important. Let's say. Now, normally in your mind, for degree, marketing ada apa? Marketing 1, marketing 2, betul kan? Normal lah, marketing 1, marketing 2, then advanced marketing, that is how it is. But now we fall back to PEO. PEO, this now when we see PEO, one key PEO that a lot of employers want is what? Market. Able to be innovative, marketable, and so on. So dulu in 1980, 1990, marketing penting but not critical. Tapi sekarang critical. You see the difference there? Now very important. So traditionally we have marketing 1, marketing 2. So this is like 3 credits and 4 credits. Normal degree like that one. But now because the PEO already said different, so you don't do your subject from subject level. You do your discipline based on need keperluan. So in the future, degree bachelor student must have satu, dua, tiga, empat, lima, enam. Sekarang this normal. Sekarang AI, sekarang ethics dan lain-lain lagi. Because of this, you may need degree marketing. Yeah, you may need 9 credits worth of marketing. We don't say subject, no, we say credits version because 9 kali 40 adalah 360 hours. Students need now. Dulu tak perlu, now you need. I didn't say subject. So because of this, how many subject you think kita boleh buat? We can do normal is 3 lah. Salah ke tak? If we do 4 dan 5. Salah ke tak? Tak salah. No law to say you cannot have a 5 credit lah. No. But it could be easier for us if we do a 3. Do you see that because we look at PEO perspective, marketing can just increase by 1. By additional 3 credits. That means students need to learn more because it's permitted. That is how this means. Understand that? This is how it should be. So when you do OBE methods of the process over here, you do it when you do your program evaluation, you go back to all. Because guys, HR really is useless already. I still remember last time we had personnel management. Wow. Organizational behavior. Remember?
Now we have, but we're throwing it away.
Wow. Not important anymore. We learned last time. SQL. Wow. Because not important. So when you go, it's what's important. Now, must a degree be 120 credits? Must a degree only be 120 credits? Sorry, I restructured my sentence, my question. No, can be 122, 123, 124. Betul? But when you increase, what happens? Harga naik lah. Kena balance lah sikit. We private institution lah. Jangan bagi 160 kredit. Yes, student will be good. Bankrupt kita. So kena balance lah sikit. Okay. What is relevant to the industry? Alright. So you do CRO. Alright. You do your CRO. Then after you curriculum. Then after you already got your course learning outcome. So we have the first 3 course learning outcome kan. Okay. Then only we do teaching and learning activities. For students to achieve that, what kind of teaching and learning activities we do? If you evaluate and suddenly you see, okay, the first 3 credits, actually students can learn on their own. I just go into class 1 week, 2 hours, and I will achieve the goal. Then so be it. If they say I need 3 hours, so be it. Okay, this is what it is. And this works with the best friend here called assessment. You design. Then you have your student learning time, then your credit hours. It is based on keperluan to come up with your credit hours. Keperluan to come up with your credit hours. Keperluan to come up with your credit hours. Not how traditionally we do. Marketing, 2 subjects, 3 credit, work on it. Oh. But why is that easy? Because when we did our degree, dia macam tu. We ikut dah. Okay. Any questions on this one? Okay. This is how it should be done. Right. So now, many of your schools not coming up with new program. Not. Right now. So when you do program evaluation, curriculum evaluation, you look at it now. Go back from the top. Hey guys, PEO betul ke tak? All right. Any change or not? Then from there you go back down. And then guys, you'll be enlightened. If you say that there's no change after that, be it so. Maybe got no change. But very slim chance. But maybe got no change, but very slim chance. Okay? Because our role to do, we are the E-class kind of service provider. We want to make sure the students get what is needed. That is important. Next, implementation. Implementation ni you all the best. Blueprint, lesson plan, ini semua lah rubric. Ini rubric kan? Rubric important kan? What is a rubric? And how you mark students, not just plug from sky. Ini saya segar bagi 6. Tak ada segar bagi 3. Must have qualitative justification on why this is so. Okay? Now, so student portfolio formative, summative assessment and so on. Later, I want to stress a little bit on formative and summative. Formative is something important. Okay? And then Bloom's taxonomy and so on. We use Bloom's taxonomy as the basis for evaluating standard. It is not the only taxonomy, there are many, but we use Bloom's. Certain people even argue on the relevancy of Bloom's. Nampak? Memang banyak teori lah, right? Not, but this is what we use. Many schools will use that. Okay? So this is documentation. Documentation is to ensure evidence. Evidence, okay? Like you say you teach 3 hours a week, mana? Proof lah, evidence lah. Okay, this is documentation. And finally, we have evaluation. Ini end of the semester. So end of the semester, when you do your institutional, what do you call that? UCAB, no, Departmental Assessment Board, DAB, very important. Where the heads, you guys sit down with your staff. Wait, I look at the grades. Okay, how come the grades so low? Why? How's the delivery like? What are the feedback and this and that? Then we evaluate. You evaluate based on what? Don't change because students say susah. Students say susah and you change wrong. You change only based on because it is driven by change. If students say susah and you change, you'll be forever changing. And which makes no sense. For those of you, many of you are children, if your kid doesn't like to eat vegetable, okay, don't eat lah. Cannot. Rationalize, right now. What's the benefit of it? Do some stuff that don't eat vegetable, you know. Without eating vegetable. Alright. But you rationalize apa kebaikan and this and that, but we still need to continue. Tak suka pun kena. But we look at it in a different context. This is called evaluation. Closing the loop, continuous quality improvement report. If it is good, many of your kids are really good. Oh, this is good. We continue. Kita continue. And then review. Curriculum review. This is the OBE process. All right, review. Okay, it goes on. So, I tak bagi. Okay, right? PEOs. So I always want to emphasize that. Why do I always emphasize on PEOs? Because it is the start. You make mistake here, semua mistake. It is the start. So if I'm very curious. Nursing, I have a lot of nursing colleagues. What is needed for a nurse graduate with a diploma now? What is important? Diploma level, right? Nursing graduate. Apa yang penting? What are the key?
Means for them to perform the procedure according to the according to what they have learned under the curriculum that they structured.
Still very important. So that one is the knowledge and cognitive skill. What else is important?
For them to analyze also.
Analyze.
Yeah. And also the critical thinking part.
Okay. Knowledge and thought.
Yeah.
Personality.
Oh, yeah.
Important, right? You know, because a lot of even adults are afraid when they see the streets of the
Yeah. And also positive attitude.
Positive attitude, see, attitude, this and that, and so on, right? Because like us, as a customer perspective, when you go into any of these medical service providers, the whole approach to you, very, makes it more calming. You all remember you all know, have you been to our clinic here? That's our panel clinic. Previously, there was a lady, right? What's the name? Doctor, the Chinese lady. No more. That's why I don't go now. Alice. Last time Alice, okay lah. Let me tell you, guys are neck macho. But any medical thing and so on, they are the last one. You got any problem to go for a checkup or go for? They always think that we are immortal, we live forever. So at least when you go there, there's somebody there, suddenly you take blood for a checkup. Now just breathe in, don't worry. It's just like a small antibiotic. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. Okay, now I'm taking. So she explains to you. So you feel so nice. Itu yang penting, because I know every doctor or every nurse can take blood, but she don't know that when she's taking, my heartbeat is 180. Number two, you know which one? Dental. Oh, all right. Dental. So not only technical skill, but the human skills and so that make you feel comfortable. So people, okay. So basically, your know specific goals consistent with the mission and vision of the Institute of Higher Learning contains the 9 MOHE attributes, which are 5 clusters, all right, and so on. PEOs are employability attributes and selling point of your program. That is what our PEOs are, our key attributes. Okay. So basically, if you look at it, our MOE, Ministry of Education, they have this very funny. Let me tell you the story. Ministry of Education have 9 areas. MQA dulu ada 8, which is now the 5 clusters. They have changed to the 5 clusters, but MOE or MOHE is still this 9. It is the same. Just menyusahkan kita. It is the same. Alright. Now, the 5 classes of learning outcome. So when we look into our PEO, how to achieve the PEO, we will look into these 5 clusters. So when you look into these 5 clusters, this is not Greek to your you'll see, you will see that it's divided into 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay? All right. Now, I want you to see the C's, the A's, and the B's. What is C? Very good. A, effectively, hard, affection. P, practical lah. Jangan pakai practical lah. Tengok ya. C ada berapa? 3. Adalah this one depending lah. Like maybe computing, digital skill is cognitive lah. Depending on which discipline. P ada berapa? 1, 2, 1.5. A ada berapa? 6. Okay, guys. Even MQS already tell you, guys, the heart is as important as the mind. I'm not saying this is 100% dibagikan kepada 11. No, it's not 9%, 9%, 9%, 9%. No, it's not, in cognitive and knowledge in every discipline will take at least 60%. Definitely, right? That is your discipline. But what they're trying to stress is, guys, to be a all-rounder. When you graduate PEO, we don't want to be the most intelligent, but still 3.1 billion or 4.1 billion itu tak mau. So that is important. That's betul. That's why I say MQF document memang baik. It's trying to tell you now. Look at our assessment method. Most of our assessment method are cognitive. Because you know why, guys? It is easy to assess cognitive. Guys, I want to assess mathematics senang lah. 3 kali 4 tulis jawapan. I want to assess ethics how requires effort, knowledge, and ability on the cikgu. That is susah, but it's important because to be PEO straight, ethical individuals, right? How do you develop ethics? How do you? And also in our society, sometimes I said, parents see this, not are you a good boy? How many A's? Itu macam betul. Then also. I want to stress over here because OBE, PEO, these are the key things we also need to look at when the student graduate. What they can do, we need to emphasize. And if you look at our next thing, guys, very important. Over here, we have this thing called graduate attributes. Betul? UOW Malaysia graduate attributes. Pernah dengar? Siapa tak? Guys, if you look at the graduate attributes, how many of them is knowledge? 1. Yang lain is global, entrepreneur, good individual, and work in group. That is how it is. That is our role. That is the correct role of what we are supposed to do. So now it affects the assessment of the design. So I want you all to take a step back now. Look at it. Look in a holistic manner on how we design our programs. Now, you may say, tapi kredit sudah penuh. Kredit sudah penuh. How can I add in more? Don't add in more. It is what is required in programs that you maintain. The approach in class. The approach when you're in ethics. Marketing class can also talk about ethics. How you approach marketing, but it may not be linked on to ethics itself, but the way you approach, teach, communicate with the students, so that at the end of the day, they come out, they know what it is. A case study can stress on ethical behavior. Example, that is how it is. 4 to 5 statements of what graduate in 4 to 5 years' time. That's what we stressed earlier on. You guys are already at development of this. These objectives are not directly measurable, but serve as an aid of what graduates will be many years after graduation. This is how it is. Apa yang they want to achieve. Okay. So when we talk about how it goes, program educational objective, PEO will drive PLO, will drive CLO, will drive your weekly on topics, which I call over here, I think that thing is called LLO. Lesson learning outcome. Your lesson learning outcome of achievement will achieve your course learning outcome, which will drive your program learning outcome and eventually your program educational objective. Paham guys? Okay. Again, this one I want to stress on this part. PEO, this one I got pemanggilan mana? Kau buat sendiri ya. Reference, that's right. Where do we get a PEO? So many of you ask, oh, okay, macam ni PEO, where to get? How to know the future? Sudah. Alumni, misi, apa tu misi? Misi institusi, visi, stakeholders, penasihat industri, penting. Penasihat industri will tell you what is important, what is not important in the future. They already know. They can forecast lah. You know, they know. So we must listen. When we listen, then we change our syllabus. Once we change our curriculum already, then we go. Why? People will ask you, why you change? Why you put Mandarin inside your business course? All our penasihat industry told us that is the way to go, and for our students to be competitive, they need Mandarin. It drives this way. And everything is penaksiran. Penaksiran means feedback loop. Evaluation, feedback. Because this one will never be fixed. It always evolves. Okay? Which is the most challenging one? Like when I look at early childhood, kids today, what they need, what they are required, so different from how last time. Last time when we used to go kindergarten, go there, sometimes you don't come back with a black eye, sometimes school already. Right, huh? Now different, now the expectations are different, school are different. I even heard, I don't know how true it is, certain Chinese school, before you go, some kindergarten students go for tuition to get ready for Chinese school.
They got assessments in there.
7 years old. Okay, changing. I mean, that's how they do. So when you're designing a diploma in early childhood, what is the needs of it? Okay. So think, develop PEOs for the undergraduate project, program of your discipline. Just want you to think now, undergraduate program, plan launch date 2025. So if it's plan launch date 2025 undergraduate is 3 years. So students will graduate in 2028, and the information or the skills needed need to be relevant from 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. Think. Now someone you have to think. What skills do they need? What is really needed? How do you get it? I don't expect an answer now, definitely. But this is what you have to continue thinking already. Every time you do program evaluation, you must think of this. All right, if it's diploma, 2 years time, 2 years and 1 after that. 2 years, 1 after that. So the thing about diploma is more challenging. Diploma needs to ready the student for a degree also. So there is the readiness to from industry and degree. So if you start having that practice of this thought and this method of thinking, then every time when you look into program evaluation and so on, as leaders of the school, you look at it holistically. You will ask your staff, guys, is this still relevant? How relevant is it? Why is it still relevant? What needs to change? What do we need? Those are the broadening questions that need to come up. Then the staff asks, boss, why need to change? Then you answer very easy. Because our students need to be relevant. Our students, not I want to change, students need to be relevant. when we graduate. Our degree need to be worth more than the paper it's printed on. That is why got change. If after they check, boss, no change, because it's memang diperlukan, still need. Macam tu lah. Okay. Right. All right. Take 5 minutes. I think it's good to take a breather. Then I will just touch a little bit on learning domains, because learning domains just to cover a little bit. Then we will go on the assessment part. All right. Is 60 seconds and time.
60 seconds.
Well, exactly. Wait. I tried.
Yes.
So she gets in, I tried it, it's much more.
It's nice. So what is she coming? What should I get started? Everything else is talking about. Everything is how you actually, how you actually by example, like you go to a business, very simple. Yes. Good luck. Yeah.
Design assignment based on these goals. These topics we can we guide them based on what is required.
Sorry. Basically, yeah, it's baseline. When you give me a sample, my students get possibility. And then they get.
I think I'm going to go back and check that because I have access. Now it doesn't.
Was it people I don't know why your business wrong. Everybody's difficult to me. I still.
Under committee that started. So now we are looking at the best practices of assessment and evaluating the assessment. So that is right. Do not use the result, the final percentage of not similarly what the AI, because it is not accurate, it is not used as AI. You cannot use it as a guide because some distribution use it as a law. You cannot use it as a law, it's just so they themselves, the guys cannot use it as a guide because they have not managed to overcome a lot of whatever they do, you cannot use. Maybe 3 years time, we cannot the technology cannot even meet that to overcome that challenge. Now they are like changing. I will take you a bit, you will take me a bit, but
Yeah. That's why.
Like when I talk about like genomics and so on, sometimes if you want to the future, when it's a big business guy, you know, but they will also need the support. Yeah. Yeah, so we as individuals, we look at it from our discipline point, not discipline related, only it can be, it can cross discipline.
Yeah. Even our
We have to do the marketing, so not the exchange. That's one other thing.
Program evaluation, right? The one that I can see is from the season expect. But here you're mentioning.
Curriculum. Your curriculum. You will call it as curriculum.
Oh, not
See, okay, certain disciplines called it program. They evaluate the program itself, the physical program.
So they call it curriculum. They call it as the class.
Useful plus. It's actually in your discipline. What you said is called curriculum review. You review the curriculum. It's basically every year must do major changes every one circle of your discipline. So if your degree is 3 years, every 3 years must have a major change.
When we one but of yes, it is the first round. But the one that we it's just on minor changes. It's not like references lah.
That one is as we go along. This curriculum review normally is done. There are 2 ways of doing it. One is the way I like is going through my cluster. So that is my cluster. And one referee must have a referee because anybody who are the educated people who should argue and they will always state that they are the better one. So you need a referee.
Yeah.
See? Sometimes we say our student jahat kan. Betul. Dia cikgu pun sama. Dia kata,
Yeah. Cikgu always like pandai one.
no, I'm saying timing.
Oh, timing.
I look at timing, I say 5 minutes kan.
Oh.
I go 5 minutes, okay, begin kau teman.
Already jadi sakit perut.
Gitu loh kan. Learning domains, okay, this one I will just run through, you all will basically know what is it. Just a bit of a refresher. Okay, guys, I cannot get our P9 colleagues to wait because they are already there virtually at home. So we will continue. Now I'm just going to touch on next will be on the learning rate. So guys, we are clear what is OBE, outcomes based. What is important is the outcomes of the student, the whole process to achieve that outcome, and we need evidence to ensure achievement of that outcome. We also understand, guys, to recap, we also understand that in the process of evaluating our curriculum or our program, we need to go back from not the operational side, but what the students need to achieve side from the PEO perspective all the way down. Alright? Okay. So the next part that I would like to touch on next 5-10 minutes, really, I'll take a very fast one is on the learning domain. Why is learning domain something I need to touch? Because when we talk about outcomes, different level of student will have different outcome. Diploma student doing marketing versus a degree student doing marketing, both is marketing, they will even use the same book, maybe it's a Kotler book, but outcome lain. One may have a lower outcome because it's diploma, the other one will have a higher outcome because it's degree. Now, for me to start that, I need to give you a little bit of background. Over in Malaysia, MQF, we got this thing called tahap levels. Level 1 to level 8. Level 1, 2, 3 certificate. Level 4 is diploma. Level 5 is executive diploma. Level 6 is degree. Level 7 is master's. Level 8 is doctorate. This is called tahaps or levels in Malaysia's MQF. These levels are clearly defined in a way that it shows if you are a level 4 and I'm a level 3, you need to demonstrate OBE. You need to demonstrate a higher level in relations to me. And let me tell you guys, please read MQF 2.0 at the back, one jadual. The jadual is so good. The jadual explain to you tahap 4 apa yang perlu di achieve, tahap 8 apa yang perlu di everything is there. Very good. Okay, so it tells you that. So we as educators, when we look into learning domains and we relate learning domains to this tahap, it will tell you that students in different levels will have different achievement. Thus, under the learning domain, they will be on different parts of the learning domain. Okay, different parts of the learning domain. So generally, in context of theory, we use Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy. All right, Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy of learning domains, which evaluates 3 key aspects over here. What we have is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. All right. Classification of the different objectives that educators set for student, learning objective outcome, device objective into 3 domains, affective, psychomotor, and cognitive. The reason why there is these 3 areas is because a development of an individual, a student, is not only about the mind. It's also about the heart and the ability to transform those aspects. So that is when psychomotor comes in. Okay, so when we look at it, we need a taxonomy. Learning at the higher level is dependent on having attained prerequisite knowledge and skills at lower level. Based on other theories, they say that this is called sequential or what you call leveling. For you to know how to do something at the higher level, you will normally need to do something at lower. You need to have knowledge. You cannot straight away know how to make something before you have the basic knowledge. Right? Get the basic knowledge. So this is called leveling. A goal of Bloom's taxonomy is to motivate educators to focus on all 3 domains, creating a more holistic form of education. So we want to when our program is to emphasize on all 3 domains, and the 3 domains are cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Now, do you remember I showed you the 11 classes when I put the CAT? Is it covered? Covered. The government, Malaysia government already know how important, already cover all already. Definitely covered already. They also stress, guys, when you develop student, not only think of the individual, think of the holistic growth. So what we do different story lah. Right? Okay. So this is how it is. Okay, and effective tahap. Okay, it ages. Okay. So when we look over here, learning. Here we are cognitive, lower level, higher level evaluation. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the easiest cognitive side, comprehension knowledge. You know what is it all about, knowledge and comprehension. Then you're able to apply and analyze, use the knowledge to do something. And the highest level here is to create new aspects, synthesize and evaluate. Okay, so cognitive domain, straightforward. This is how it is. Psychomotor, and of course we have the affective. All right. Now, I want to emphasize here a little bit, guys. Look at when you look into this, I put here sample verbs, action verbs. Now, if you know about the verbs, guys, verbs help a lot, right? It tells you if I am evaluating diploma, affective domain. Then I maybe look at valuing. I will put this sample of key action verbs that refer, initiate, express. Initiate thought, initiate discussion, express your feelings score. You see that is how it is. All right. Now, because if we look at the Blooms and what we practice over now, this is here. We set. Not set in stone, but as a very good guide, that these are the levels of what students should achieve. Now, the levels here means the big, the curve. Some of you may think, oh, that's the highest. No. It's not the highest. It's the curve. the curve. If you take diploma, cognitive, majority should be in C3. Majority, not highest level C3. Whew, must stress on that. Some student also, highest level C3, yeah. No. Majority. You still may have lower and the higher, but you can even have C6, C5, C6, which need that. But small percentage. Don't put 80% for diploma. Mati orang. Now, this is to differentiate the man from the boys. You know that term, right? So, generally, student in education diploma, if they can demonstrate kebanyakan, they pass. Not A student, not B plus, they pass. Because that is the knowledge that is. Student read more, do research more, be able to articulate. Yeah, diploma, they get B, B plus, A minus, A plus no more kan? A plus no more, A. Okay, this is what it is. That is it. Now, you look at, well, okay, that means PhD C6, of course lah. That doesn't mean you don't have C1, 2, and 3. Yes, but it's not evaluated. If you're doing your PhD and you write about a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you expect marks. Nothing like nothing, right? Nothing. That is it's called known facts. It's known. That is how it is. The demonstration of it. We must get these levels. Is it? You get it, guys? This is how it is. This is how it is. The curve is the curve.
Gabriel,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Joshua here from
I'm from.
business school.
Yeah.
In fact, don't mind I interrupt a bit, just
Sure,
clarify
go ahead.
something. Is it all the subject must include cognitive, affective, and psychomotor?
No, not all.
It mean
Hello.
because last when I was HOD, there is audit in external audit coming, commented our program don't have affective, no psychomotor. They insist we need to put affective and psychomotor in our
Yes.
subject,
All right.
That's why I want to clarify about this.
All right. Thank you very much, Joshua. Now let me explain to you. The whole program, your whole program must touch on cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Because earlier on, I've already shown you the 11 subclusters are already, some of them are affective. All right. Okay, it's already there, right? Understand that? Joshua, you understand that? So out of the 11 subclusters, it covers all three areas over there. Now, in diploma over here, what it means C3, P4, and A3 is certain courses. Let's take, for example, a communication course or subject, so communication, public speaking. It will be cognitive on certain components because it is public speaking theories and concepts. It will be practical because that individual will need to do something, and it could also touch affective due to the fact that because this particular skill requires interpersonal skill. So that communication course or subject, as you call, coincidentally will touch 1, 2, and 3. Another one I'm going to say PDS. PDS, professional development skills. It is very developmental. It may not have cognitive, it will just be affective. So it touches the affective domain. For business school, you have accounting. I hope maybe you use the Frankwood book last time. You know Frankwood 1, Frankwood 2. Okay. Now that one is very cognitive. So your plot may be just only cognitive. You see. So once all the courses have been brought up, it must match with meeting all the 11 subclusters. And once you meet the 11 subclusters, you would already meet cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. You get it? All right. It doesn't mean every course must have all three. All right. This level here means to say that for diploma courses, the cognitive part needs to be at C3 on the maximum if you are doing evaluation. All right, Joshua, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, good. Now, does not refer to the maximum, neither to the minimum. So take note, this is the curve, not the nor the minimum. Now, okay. Now, same question last week, NQA also come to check. And then they say, do you cover? Then they see our syllabus, it is covered. It is covered. That is why earlier on, when I told you about the 11 subclusters, I said it is not equally divided, right? It doesn't mean 100 divide by 11 subcluster, everyone must be 9%. No. Knowledge and comprehension and cognitive skill will be 60%, 60 to 70%, definitely one. Because we are doing what we're doing course right now. We are doing academic course, cannot run away. Okay, so once you see these are the levels already, then we have the 5 clusters. You see here, guys, the 5 clusters. We have knowledge, this and that. Then you have teaching strategy. If it is knowledge and understanding, normally it's lecture and tutorial. All right, and if it's lecture and tutorial, assessment, written test quiz. Now, this is not set in stone, guide. Okay, now look at this. If it is communication skill, communicate. How to communicate? Can write essay. It is verbal communication. Then it is presentation. Okay, and then if it is personal skills or entrepreneurial skill, it could be project industrial attachment. So why do we have industrial attachment? So industrial attachment, industrial placement will cover aspects of entrepreneurship, ethics, and so on. It will touch on certain key areas. That is why when you look into the courses in your program, they cover many things. Business students don't just learn business skills. They learn PDS, teams and community, and so on and whatnot. So for diploma students, some of them ask you, sir, why I need to do teams and community? I need to go and run event. I need to do that and so on. Because part of the requirements under the cluster, under PLO is we need you to have interpersonal skill, personal skill, and entrepreneurial skill. So that is why you do your teams and community. You join club, you mix with people, you work with people, and so on. And we make it a compulsory right now. If student graduate without having the 100 mark, they graduate kan. So some students don't like to talk to people like loner. You force them to do because this is the requirement. You see now, they cannot don't do. See now, now that's so they need to eat that part over there. Okay. So these are just guides. These are just guides to give you a hint because different learning outcome in the cluster will have different strategies, different learning strategies, different method. Case studies, discussions are very good for certain kinds of areas. Certain areas is more lecture. Then something. All right. So when you talk about the curriculum review process, so this is basically how the curriculum review process looks like. Now, this is a very important component in OBE. All right. So when we review curriculum, OBE perspective, here we need the reviewing of curriculum will look at things such as like review PEO, then we need to look at the name, we need to look at duration of the program, then we review the PLO, add drop courses, you must be daring, and this is the most difficult. You must be daring to do this. Then after you review CROs, course content, teaching method, assessment method, and references. So this is the process. So if you do it every year, now how is it done, guys? It's like this. Curriculum review must be done every year and it must be recorded. Every circle of the curriculum duration, of the program duration means degree 3 years, diploma 2 years. There should be a major review. Let's say I start degree this year. Next year I will do review, but that review may be a small review, change a few things only. reference books and so on. Okay, the following year is year 2, right? Small review. The third year is that batch, one circle already right now. It can be a big review. Big review, we sit down, we look at what is it. But everything must follow the same process. Look at PEO and so on as the whole thing goes. All right. A big review doesn't mean you change everything. If yours is still relevant, you maintain. But if yours hasn't been changed since MCO, sure change it. That one definite. Okay, understand that? So this is the process. Then after that, curriculum after review. This before review, review after review. After review, implementation. Don't forget, if you exceed 30% changes, you need to inform MQA. Things such as like tukar nama, tukar PLO, and so on needs to inform, tukar duration, and so on. Alright, and this curriculum review needs to go through the school committee and the Senate. Senate needs to give green light before it can be implemented. Okay, must do. Okay. Earlier on, so yearly program evaluation of curriculum review. Now, the reason, sorry, this is a switch term. Some places use program evaluation, some use curriculum review. Now I understand most of you use curriculum review. Please take note, this is curriculum review. Curriculum review, easy, so everyone understand, right? So review PEO, first step. So I created these 10 steps to make it a bit easy. Review PEO, critical process, must be clear, feedback from industry advisory board, future review, future focus. All right. So when you do your yearly curriculum review, do it after you speak with your industry. Every year you do, right? So you do it after that, so you get the feedback. Then review name of the program. After PEO review, name, ada pertukaran tak? Tak ada. Duration, ada tukar ke tak? Review PLO, now 2, 3, and 4 interchangeable depending on how your head of school want to run. No issue one. Review PLO, accurate to achieve PEO. Your PLO need to be accurate. Read and understand the most recent program standard. This one I want to request all staff to please. Sometimes MQA come up program standard, we don't know when. Okay, they're suddenly. All right, so please get yourself updated. Go to the MQA site. Okay, any circular addition, right? Then add, drop, or rename courses. Add, drop, or rename. All right. Take notes on credit. Read the surat kelulusan. All of you got surat kelulusan. Read it properly. What are the things? Okay. Then review CLOs from the top down to go down. After the courses you review already, then you review your CLOs of individual courses. Subject, cluster, experts of the school. Review course content. After CLO, only course content. Change if needed. I would be brave. Paling susah. Why? Your hits, your rejection will be the highest here. Because a lot of the stuff, a lot of work. So the rejection is here, you need to rationalize them. All right. I will stress it this afternoon also. Okay. That should be changed every 2 to 3 years. Change doesn't mean total change. A bit change, no change. Review teaching method, contact hours, notional hours. Teaching method, review assessment method, review reference. Okay, see? Process flow. So once you go there, at least ada checklist landscape, senang sikit. Okay, and everything needs to have evidence and record. Evidence. Excel sheet, old, new, must have. That one must have. To prove that we have done this. And always remember, any pertukaran, just picture this, you change something during the seminar, Prof. may ask you, why you change? You must have answer. We change because it can be our industry advisory told us this subject is now very important. We need to add in and it's the future. And this is supported by the program standards. You cannot change anything. Why you change? I like is not an answer. There must be justification. You want to throw away some courses also can. Why you get rid? Justify that because it's no more relevant. Why is it no more relevant? Because of this, my industry advisory here. Literature has already stated. Future research already told this is not we are going and we are getting it. Okay. That's not the next. Next. And the final button. You guys following lah?
Yeah.
Boleh. Oh, you guys keep the style like that. Every year 6 months boleh dapat. I give you. I give you. Betul kan? That's why I enjoy teaching right now. Sometimes we get excited. So I used to teach degree students. I also taught master students, and I used to the first semester taught certificate students. Certificate 1 credit. I mean, in hospitality school, I taught them front office. No lecturers at time I was from school. I used the same style. Then my own reflection, my mistake, switch. That's how it is. Sometimes we all educators, I don't know what. Sorry. Okay, stretch a little bit. Assessment concept. Now I'm going to talk later assessment. This part is no way. I'm not going to explain to you how to do assessment, but what are the key aspects of assessment. So assessment. Assessment methods are the strategies, techniques, tools, and instruments for collecting information to determine the extent to which students demonstrate desired learning outcome. Break this down. Strategies, techniques, and tools. This is what we use. An exam is a tool. You give a tool, okay, and there is a benchmark to the tool. Student use it, then we get. A presentation is a method, and the tool we use to evaluate is called rubric. And that's the tool. Marking scheme rubric. Now, why do we do that? Because we want to determine the extent which students demonstrate desired learning outcome. Desired learning outcome is based on what your CLO says. Simple as that. Several methods should be used to assess students' learning outcome. Earlier on, I showed you that slide already. We have the 11 subclusters. We got the methods. Then you see assessment are different. Did this say all exam? No, because you cannot. You cannot have one method to assess everything. You cannot have one method. All right. Okay. Assessment drives students' learning and directly influence students' approach to study. If students know we are truly on exam only. Now, I want to rephrase that. I still remember when I did my SPN in 91, 92. SPN during my time was very theoretical. All right. It means we what we did during my time was very much study. And study. You go to exam 2 hours, 3 hours, you regurgitate. So, did I mix with my friend? I mean, I was a hard fellow, we mix lah. But do I need to? Was I forced to have interpersonal skills? No. Because the exam driven us to do that right now. So I was studying, memorize, put the book, put water, drink, with the book. Stupid fella like me cannot remember anything. But that was what we do, because it drove us there. If students already know the assessment varies, and there is presentation, group work, and so on, automatically for them to achieve, they will then adjust their behavior to work with other people. Right, I got no choice. I don't like you, I have to work with you. Slowly, I learn your culture. I learn your funny character. You learn my funny character. I learn how to specify myself to adapt to your funny character. And this is called learning. So this is very important. That is why, always remember, when the first day of lesson, when you meet the students, what do you give them? What do you give them? Not a tight slap, no, not that. What do you give? Come on, guys, first day. You need that. You don't give icebreakers. The icebreaker is part of it, but you give. What's the line? Wait. It's like, do you all give course of line? See, maybe. Course outline. What is the course outline? 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 Content. CLO ada kan? Map with PLO ada kan? Assessment breakdown ada kan? Type of assessment ada tak? Students see already. Nampak 40% is group work. You need to find friend. Diana is kacau ni, I need to be friend with her now. So you have to doing group work. Lagi apa? Ada kalender kan?
Yes.
Ada. What is it for?
See what lessons are in.
Yes, and also
The assess time when.
very good. And you know that the calendar is so important because one thing that all of us have is a resource that we need to manage properly. It's called time. So students can manage their time, how much time I put there. So that's why you have a calendar. I hope none of you are giving 5,000 word essay and say tomorrow I want. No, jangan macam tu. So this is what it is. Resource. So in approach to study, when students see the course outline, their approach in their mind, what is it they should do? What kind of behavior do I need to demonstrate? Behavioral demonstrations, very important. All right, so that's how important assessment is. All right, expectation to it. Now, when you look into assessment, VLO drives CLO, kan? So when your CLO, your course itself, this is the student, for them to achieve, there are two things: instruction and assessment. Two assessment, instruction and assessment. You guys are now in the instruction phase. I'm the cikgu, you are my student instruction stage. After this, there's going to be an exam that will impact your increment later. But then, knowing Malaysia, there's always soalan bocok. Okay, so basically like that, right? Instruction, after instruction, then there is assessment. Alright, so this is a key component to ensure your achievement. Okay, so students already clear. With that course outline, they already know these are my instruction and this is how I will be assessed. They already clear already. So once you are clear, you got better macam ways. Better help you. That is how important it is. Okay. Assessment of student. Assessment of student. First thing on top, when you develop assessment, CLO. CLO is not what you want to give. It is the course learning outcome. What is that course learning outcome? What is the assessment required in that course learning outcome? Every course learning outcome that you have must be assessed. If it is not assessed, don't put it in. There must be an assessment. Now, some of you may ask, how many course learning outcomes should I have? Now, no rule, but normally 3 credit, 3 lah. 4 credit, 4 lah. Normally, senang sikit. You do 3 credit, you have 6 course learning outcome, you need 6 unique assessment, student mati. 3 credit value kecil kan? Because so many assessment tak boleh lah. You also need to think, cannot. Giving a lot doesn't mean good, you know. Relevancy is good. Don't give for the sake of giving. Okay? Now, alignment of assessment with learning outcomes. Itu assessment sama itu learning outcomes must be aligned. What is important there? When you want to align course learning outcome, you want to align assessment, please see the action verb. The action verb is the first word. If you have done your CLO properly, there is a verb. Do something, demonstrate this and that. So look at that. What do they need to do? Okay. That part then your school decide. Right now, your school will write down. Make sure that what is important. From there, you will then slowly see what are the assessment. Like I said, communication, public speaking, jangan buat exam. Now, always remember why? Because exam senang nak buat. Assessment, 100 student, presentation, mati. Have you all done it or not? I mean, MBU, any debate MBU? Mati. Betul? MBU 150 student, individual presentation. It is the best. Alright, it's good. Mati. So you need to think properly. How? Other strategies we can take it offline. We talk about it later. That's true. Technically, if mati, but it's the best way and you don't use, cikgu salah. Cikgu salah. It's the best way of assessing students, most effective. It's an individual presentation and I'm teaching MBU. I got 150 students and I don't want to do because it's difficult for me. Cikgu salah. I won't blame cikgu lah. I say salah lah. Because they should come up with solution. What is the solution? During presentation, I give you 4 helpers. To do this presentation, ada rubric mah, not rubric. You know, so now that cikgu supposed to do 150, only what? 30. Less no. You see, that is a strategy. The strategy, the correct thing is not don't do, must do. Find other way. Because if you don't do, and I so happen did the audit check, I would say, why you don't do? We got no manpower, no manpower. The head of school have a nice sitting down with me. Correct, right? Engineering school, you also write your own choice. Betul kan? Betul kan? And yours even worse, your got ratio, right? They got a lot of ratio. Student berapa, staff berapa, and this and that. Ratio. Okay, understand, guys? Now, next, method of assessment of the achievement of the learning outcome. Since alignment of assessment, the alignment, then again, what method do you use also? Presentation, what kind of presentation? Individual, group. What is the difference between group and individual presentation? Assessment, difficult, huh? Individual assessment, rubric, senang. Group presentation, rubric, susah. 4 of you do presentation, very good. Does it mean all of you good?
No.
Itulah.
No.
That is what you call method of assessment. Is presentation the how? How do you now? Unless you get a very good instrument, your instrument must be very good, and you must give criteria and limitations. All must stop 5 minutes. Must. Because if it's group presentation, she do welcome. Hello, welcome everybody. Today my friend is going to talk. Thank you very much. Sit down. And she can, which I know some lecturers do. Correct, right? And then we show this presented the best. We get this person to talk. Out of 20 minutes, 17 minutes dia cakap. Dia the best. Okay lah. So you need to correct everything. This is where it is. Then management of the assessment system. How do you manage it? B, for exam, what kind of management and control mechanism do we have? Come on, guys. What kind of mechanism? What kind of mechanism do we have to ensure quality of the exam? Huh? Moderator, very good. Lagi? Blueprint, very good. Lagi? Not only moderated, but signed off by the head. Betul? These are called control mechanism. Don't forget, exam is a very strong tool that plays God one, you know. Student can, a 3.8 and a 3.7 can mean a person get or don't get scholarship. Can mean a person dapat first class or not that pay PTPTN. And don't forget that some students not rich one, so dapat PTPTN and change their life.
Yeah.
So we must make sure we do it correctly. Control mechanism. So that okay, so very good. Exam yang senang. Presentation. Tak tahu ni, ini kena buat investigation ni. When you do presentation, how do you moderate? Very good. No need external first. 2 marks. You should never have only one. It is a presentation, and it carries marks. Because if it's only one, there can be a level of bias. So there should be 2. All right, average now discuss. Okay, okay. That is why industrial placement, you know, guys, industrial placement assessment is always done by the employer and the visiting supervisor. Because some employer, I tell you what, this fella, main one, but because he's so good to the employer, every day buy nasi lemak, 99/100. 99/100. This is called quality of assessment. Question? Good. Next. Why is it important to set multiple methods? Relying on only one method to provide information about the program will only reflect a part of the student's achievement. You cannot only use one method, cannot only use exam, you must use numerous different methods. Additionally, CLOs may be difficult to assess using only one method. For each CLO, a combination of direct and indirect assessment methods should be used. Different CLO, different assessment method. Yeah.
Okay, what if it's a live event, for example, for public schools, right? It was raised during our beloved internal audit. Really. So the finding was that they didn't know that a live event should be moderated, because event is like something that you do pre-event and then during the event and post-event. So the during the event one, if it's 30%, how should it be moderated?
Okay, very good question, Diana. Just for our friends over in Penang, the question is, how do you evaluate a live event? Now, a live event can be evaluated in many different forms. All right, when I used to run events, I used to teach events management. We have the preparation part. Preparation part, we give a percentage of points that is to test students on leadership skill and also organization. Then during the event, we also evaluate. And during that part, we don't have only one evaluation. I will bring Nora. I will get Nora with me. They are running an event, let's say roofs. Then I say, Nora, you help me. This is the rubric. I explain to her, we are looking for this, and so on. On that day, we will do the evaluation. Then we will kumpul, we will average it. And always there is an ending part, it's called the post-mortem. The post-mortem is also important, and that could be also evaluated. That could be evaluated. That's what I used to do. However, different schools may be different, but it must be done. We cannot put the responsibility of giving grade to one individual, especially if it is event that's 40-50%. 40-50% is very big, you know. And this event can be 4 credits, very big, so cannot done. We need to make sure that it's check and balance. Not saying your teacher is wrong, but because this is an important method of ensuring a transparency. Okay. Now, assessment in general serves the purpose to here. 1, promote learning. Assessment promotes learning. Students notice how they assess. It promotes the way that they learn, they strive. 2, measure performance. Okay, assessment measures students' performance. Right now, why do we do assessment? Not for fun. To measure how good they are to a particular standard. 3, award grades by indicating whether and how well a particular student has attained the stated levels. We award grade. I give Bridget a B+ for human resources. That means she is at that level. It's a grade given. And this is comparable as the basic standard to anything else. Level 6 degree, MQF, our B+ should be the same as Taylor's B+ for diploma, for degree. That is how it is. So there is comparison. Okay. 4, determine whether a particular student is sufficiently well prepared in the subject area to proceed to the next level of instruction. A grade or assessment to assess whether they are suitable to go on to the next level. That is why we do this. Right? We do assessment to say, hey, you are suitable. You pass, that means you can go on to the next. Why do you think we give probation less than 2.0? What is 2.0? 2.0 is our benchmark, competency benchmark that every student should attain before they proceed to the next level. If you don't achieve 2.0, that means you don't meet the minimum competency to go to the next level. Not next program, next level. Then that's where the assessment comes in. Okay. Providing feedback to students which indicate level of attainment and diagnose misunderstandings and learning difficulties. Assessment is in a way gives feedback to students. Okay, very good, congratulations. And they continue. This is where your strength is. See if something is wrong. Why? Can I help you? Good luck. And of course, provide feedback to teaching staff to identify and diagnose ineffective teaching methods. I like this. Why? Sometimes assessment, you do super bad already, you go and test. All students fail. Something is wrong. Cikgu bodoh ke? Bodoh. You see how right now? It's like after this session, if I ask you what is OBE and you do not know what does OBE mean, I don't mind. Betul? Macam tu lah. Right now, so it's assessment. We need to assess in a way. But currently, I'm already doing assessment and I'm getting feedback from you. Body language. Right now, noddings and so on. Okay. So, what to assess? This is the same. Earlier on, we talked what to teaching strategy then. Then, what to assess here? That's what we said earlier on. Requires different assessment strategies. Now, with technology, with so many new methods, there are so many ways of doing assessment. So many ways. Like example, you heard of PBL, problem-based learning. Do you like it? Susah nak buat kan? But outcome is good. Program susah kan? Just you need to meditate. What is the outcome they need to do? Write your CLOs. How do they do it? How do they achieve that? And so on, mapping and so on. But PBL can cover 3 courses. One PBL, one problem can cover 3 courses. So it's a bit like your final one. But there's many things that you can achieve with that. Okay. So next, we are going to look at after assessment, this evaluation is called formative assessment and summative assessment and summative and formative feedback. Okay? Assessment is to assess the student. All right? So there are two types of assessment. One is a formative, one is called summative. Right? Now, this one I want to put a caveat. Literature is different from practice. A lot of MQA, you go to a lot of talks and so on, they will say formative is like continuous assessment. Summative is final exam. Now, as I said, I put caveat. My understanding, my reading, my learning, formative is any assessment that guides the student to achieve their goal without marks. I'm asking Nora, Nora, do you understand what I said? She said, yes. This is formative assessment by questioning. All right. Then I evaluate formatively to develop. Summative is any assessment that impacts the student final grade. Impacts the student final grade. Why am I stressing this and why do I use this literature, this practice? Because I find formative assessment is as important as summative. You do good formative assessment, your summative is easy. Understand, students? Understand? This formative, I just asked you a question, you feedback to me, yes. Now, if I say, do you understand or not? Just say no, say no. Okay. Then I explain again. Then I say, okay, students, which part do you not understand?
Gabriel, Joshua here. Gabriel.
Go ahead.
So, for the formative assessment is more on continuous assessment. So that means all the coursework should be under formative assessment, and we should let the student know the outcome of the assessment, is it, and give back the assignment to them or show the assignment to them, is it, or we have the right not to show.
Okay.
I just want to clarify this one.
Okay, thank you very much, Joshua. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to explain. First of all, I will answer Joshua's question, not a formative or summative, but the assignment part. Any assignment that students do must be given back to student with feedback. Must be given back to student with feedback. Because that is the way that students learn. They do, must be given back with feedback to say where are you wrong. You will not know or to develop if there is no feedback. You bake a cake and there is, after you bake already, there is no feedback. That means there's no picture, there is no chef to tell you the taste is correct or not. Even though you bake the worst cake, for you is the best. Because there's no feedback. So feedback is required. Okay, so on that part.
Gabriel, for the main final project or the subject itself, only one assessment final as a project. Is it this one we need to give feedback to student?
You must give student, because if it's only one project, it is given a bigger impact. You need to give what you call periodic support and periodic feedback. You must put during the course of the semester checkpoints that student will come to you to show. Because if you don't do that, finally, when students give is totally wrong, then there is no opportunity for them to correct themselves. You must do that.
Example,
okay.
Example, a student under research project. So we call meeting, we call for appointment, he or she never come, end up he submit the whole assignment for you to assess. So what is the outcome? Whether we still want to immediately assess and get the feedback.
Okay, that question is not a concept question already. That question is students not coming. That one, I will leave it to your school to decide. All right, what kind of disciplinary aspect? Because certain schools, if students don't participate in certain meetings, you all don't accept submission. That one is the school will govern. I am talking about the concept of assessment and betterment. If it is one assessment, I need to see that campus there. If it is one assessment that is at the end 100%, you must give students checkpoints. Checkpoints means you set certain times in the semester to evaluate whether the students are on track. We as educators or facilitators, as I said, is we are facilitating. So when students start ready beyond the besok, you push them back in for them to go. You cannot surprise you fail if you don't give those checkpoints. Now, you may say, yeah, but students don't come and see me. Fair enough. But you must have that avenue. That avenue means you already set checkpoints for learning. All right. Even those who are doing a higher level degree, like a master's by research and so on, you still see your supervisor checkpoints, right? So this is it's the same, right? More so in diploma and a degree. Okay. Now, I want to stress on this. My P9 colleagues, and also all my colleagues in general, as I said, you read literature on formative and summative, very different one. Certain books will use formative as continuous assessment, summative as final assessment. My literature, my own understanding, my own belief is formative is any feedback you give student that doesn't impact their final grade, but make them achieve their goal. I can give all of you now, after this, an essay to do. All right, write an essay on your findings for today's event. No marks, formative. Betterment on your side. So if you give your student, let's say now in class, student, let's discuss about what OBE is. Then we discuss. That is formative assessment. Got marks or not? No marks, but it encourages and you can see feedback. If you are doing discussion, suddenly Bridget like always doing this, you see my face. Then in your mind, she don't understand. She don't understand. I go and solve the problem. OBE, outcome-based education, students learn differently. I go to the Bridget, after this you come and see me. The reason why I practice this method is because of OBE. You see it, okay? So I'll say, Bridget, come and see me. Come. Understand? Nodding, feedback. She didn't say yes, but her body language. Formative assessment is a form of low-stakes assessment for learning and is part of an instructional process. Continuously collecting data as learning is in progress. I am continuously collecting data from all of you. Then nodding the head. I'm collecting data. My mind is collecting. That is why physical sometimes good is that I cannot see my colleagues in the line. So I do not know whether they may be giving, that is where the challenge is. All right. Provide the information needed to adjust teaching and learning while they are happening. While they are happening, teaching and learning is happening now. I'm adjusting my style. I'm adjusting based on your feedback. Just picture a stand-up comedian. I tell jokes.
No laugh.
People don't laugh. I say jokes. Something wrong. I adjust. I won't continue telling jokes that you don't laugh right now. So this is how the whole process is. Understand? Informs both teachers and students about students' understanding at a point where timely adjustment can be made to achieve the targeted learning outcome. So I can adjust my style, I get feedback, I adjust to make sure that you all understand. When you understand, let's picture this method that you're learning. Let's just picture education technology. I'm teaching a subject and we are doing this. Lesson 1, lesson 2, we do the same thing. Every time I'm doing formative feedback and you understand, during my first midterm test, you all will score. Because you already know, man. It's formative. Why is this so important in OBE? OBE is the achievement by demonstration. You need to make sure you know at the earliest stage if there is any discrepancy. If, guys, think about it, if you wait until midterm test, midterm exam, week 1, 6. Hey, my friend, midterm 6, very long already, Belajar, 12 weeks. Week 6, you only know, oh my God, this student is horrible. Today, honestly, it's today. If she's already horrible, she got 5 difficult tests on her, you don't expect her to be an angel in 6 more weeks. Today, that is where formative comes in. It's the periodic thing. Periodic, see the body language, check with them. Do you understand? Okay, this and that. Simple test, Kahoot. When I used to teach, I used to use Kahoot. Dulu free, now nothing. You now the way, right? Dulu, I cheapskate, so we use free. You know what I do for formative? when I used to teach. I will put every lesson of the day. Take these as all lecturers. You have your good to know and the must know. Must know are the basic theories that is very important. The good to know are the easy that you put in to make life story nice. If you see my session today, what is the must know? A lot of things I make life interesting and attractive to you all, make it fun. These are good to know. The must know is actually only maybe 5 things yang penting. All right. So what I do every lesson is I finish reading, I do kabut. I ask the must knows. Student, question 1, question 2, and so on. Every question that has less than 80% comprehension, I will stop. Okay, students, I see that only 60% of you got this question correct. This is important. It seems that you all don't understand what marketing mix is. Marketing mix is actually the 4 Ps: product, price, place, promotion, and now we have another 3 more. It is physical, people, and conditions. See, I continue. That is formatting. You got marks or not? No marks. But I solved the problem there and then. You get me what I'm trying to say? So now, because this is a must know, must know means penting. Marketing, you must know that. Exam, 80% tu pulau mana. But this is your knowledge. So I check it in front now. As you go, check one. This is formative. You form that character in them. Example, progress test, exercise, body language, questioning. Guys, take it from me. I know some of you have taught more than I have in years. All right. This is my 26 years of teaching. Oh, no, maybe more than that. It works. It really works. It really works. Formative feedback really works. Continue. And then you got less headache. In the long run, you got less headache. Your grades will be nicer. And all you have to do is just continue to understand, make sure you review, close the loop. At the end of the lesson, you close the loop. You tutup. Tutup means today's lesson, tutup. Tapau. Next week, another lesson. Next, the goal next is summative. Summative assessment or high stakes examination is to measure the level of success, performance, quality, proficiency, or how well students have achieved the learning outcome at the end of the instruction unit or the course module program by comparing against some standard or benchmark. This is summative. Summative is ada mata. We do formative so that every or all of their summative, they will do well. Summative is the one that we evaluate and give them a grade. A B+, a B, a C, a A. That is summative. The purpose is to make judgment by assigning a grade to the students and to make decisions on the future of the students. This is, I'm not saying it's not important. This is the most important summative, the exam. But we use the formative to continuously push. OBE, outcomes based. Do you understand? So, let's say I got one student in the over there, listen. English not so good. He had Chinese. You really don't understand under formative? I explain the concept. Come, listen, I explain to you. I speak. No. Example. Maybe remember OBE? Different people learn differently. I will explain to him in Mandarin and then it's out from the class. I'm not saying talk in Mandarin. I said, this is what it means. Is that in English, it's like that. You understand? Please use a dictionary this time. Example. You know? This and that. He learned. So now, case closer. Tutup. Sudah faham? Extension. That he learns. Oh, sir, now I understand. That's how it is. Formative and summative. Okay? It is important for us to remember that students' assessment should be consistent with the program goals and intended learning outcomes. Every assessment you put in is not because you want to do it easy, but there must be a PLO, CLO kind of mapping, CLOs especially. The CLO mapping itself is very critical. All right? So how? When we talk about assessment, flow of assessment plan. Number 1, set learning outcomes for the unit. Sudah ada kan? You already got LO, right? Number 1, LO sudah ada. 2, design assessment tasks. What tasks do we want to do for this? Look at the individual CLO, come up with the task. This one is presentation. Don't go into what presentation or presentation. 3, create specific assessment criteria aligned with the learning outcome. So it is presentation. Apa jenis presentation? Group, individual, berapa lama, and what is required. 4. Performance standard. Performance standard is rubric. Performance standard is what makes a A, a C, a C. What makes a 80, a 80, a 50, a 50. That is called performance standard. So we use here this thing called a rubric. That is why rubric needs to be better. So, and I always suggest to all of my colleagues, rubric requires skill and knowledge to do. Please ask your colleagues, those who have more experience and so on, they will advise, like maybe certain alignment of rubrics. Okay, it's important. I do rubric workshops as well. I think it's in the second quarter. I'm going to do one. So please join. It's quite fun. Yeah. I think fun is not the word, right? can be quite informative. Fun on the other side. A bit more technical.
Fun.
Fun, I'm always fun. Next, construct overall achievement standards to arrive at the grade for the assessment task. So once you have this, you need what method you're going to use, how of that method, presentation, group presentation, individual, come up with the rubric, assess it, then you come up with the overall grade for the assessment. This is how it is. Okay, process flow. Excellent stage. Okay. Assessment tasks and processes to fill 3 key roles in students' learning. All right, for assessment and assessment tasks. 1, facilitate students' capacity to meet learning outcomes, formative feedback when you do formative assessment. Facilitate students' capacity to meet learning outcome. So you facilitate is to tolong. Facilitate to tolong. So formative assessment helps students to achieve their outcome. Helps. Develop student ability to become confident and self-evaluators. Good assessment makes them confident. You see students who score an A, I'm so happy, you know. Confident. They do a good presentation. And then these guys, please be willing. If the student is good, say they're good.
Yeah.
Confident. Must say one, you know, good. You know, every time when I see new students of what level, I used to do orientation, new student orientation. I tell them the 3 magic words. You know what students don't use enough? Please, thank you, and I'm sorry. And sometimes we teachers also we don't use the well done. Confident, I tell you, when you say the well done at night, student tidur kenyang. Well done. More so it was no one no round, never say thank you. No, I'm not happy. Provide now. Assessment provide evidence of achievement of learning outcome. Summative assessment. Summative provides the achievement. Yes, achieve. Okay. So from today onwards, I want all of you, all my colleagues, please practice formative. Summative kita sudah expert, because that is all we are graded on. But always look at formative. Okay. Curriculum design this way. Betul kan? PEO turun.
Yeah.
Assessment, dah bergerak. You do assessment, you achieve this one, you achieve this, you achieve this, you achieve that. Dah bergerak. Assessment methods chosen must be aligned with the process of finding evidence of the LO attained and must be consistent with the students' learning time required to complete the task. I just want to stress on this here. Time. There is certain resources that is limited. Say, it's called time. Money and time. All right. Money, I don't want to talk about that, how you get students to have their budget, but time. So you all should understand, if you require students to write 2,000 word essay, how much time do they need? All right. So that is important. You want students to do a presentation on something. If it's a very ad hoc, what you had for dinner last night, immediate have. But do a presentation on the theories of William Spady on concepts of OBE. They need to do reading. They need to write, you know, and then it's a different one. I like the concept of poster presentation. I like poster presentation. Poster presentation requires visually, I like the way engineering does it, so but I find too many words. Some students write essay on top there right now. That one poster, why? The reason why you give student word count in assessment and assignment is the limitation of resources. If you give student limitless, they will take everything and put it in, and there is no concept of learning. When you give them limited 500 words, they need to think apa yang penting. It's like what I always tell my colleagues and my students. Buying apples are easy. Buying good apples are difficult. Buying apples, anybody can do. My mother said, okay, buy apples, I go to market, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, I take back. Rotten ke apa, no? Okay, buy good apples. I need to go and I need to have condition. Condition means what's defined by good apple? Firm, color, smell. So I need to take and I need to choose. Choosing is a demonstration of knowledge. That is why when you give students assignments, you give limitations. 500 words. Why? So that you will know, wow, I got thousands of words. Now I need to pick only 500 words. Apa yang penting? That one is knowledge, not the 5,000 word essay. That one is called cut and paste. Regurgitation. Regurgitation is masuk everything out. Muntah. No, it's the words itself, which is very important. That is why when we use, I still remember in English last time, secondary school, during my time, we have this thing called cresse. Cresse. Now, if somebody teach English, don't know. You know what? We are our summary. It's like book report. You read the book, then you write. Cresse is a summary of an essay in a way like. So you need just picture, you need to write about a tale of two cities, the summary in 700 words. The book is like that, you need to summarize it, so you need to choose what is easy. I always train my student, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Okay, if I ask you, my friend, give me 6 key points of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What are the key points? Think Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a 2-hour cartoon by Walt Disney. Betul? Okay, now what are the 6 points?
7 dwarfs.
Belum. Wow, 6 points. Stop. Yeah, okay. Okay, belum lagi. It's okay. Okay, the mind not pointing at you. I know you haven't watched it a long time. No, right? The 7 dwarfs, huh? So, what? First stage. You must have stepmother. You must have mirror on the wall. You must have 7 dwarfs. You must have lagi. You must have apple. You must have. Snow White sudah ada lah. Poison apple, very good. Prince and happily ever after. So guys, we can see 2 hours, but we managed to summarize it in that 6 points. And if we structure everything together, it will be 2-3 minutes. That is knowledge. That is learning. We took the content that is paraphrasing.
OBE 啊，我比出前我
Alright guys, think one of you in the mic
我一个
is on.
column 以前的 column 那黄色的啊，你 PV 那个
Hey guys,
有没有很棒全部的
one of my colleagues, excuse me, one of my colleagues, you need to mute.
M 还是 M 呢
Please mute. I can hear all the things you're talking bad about me. Okay, done. Alright, thanks. You understand? That is learning, guys. Snow White is the best example. That is learning. You have demonstrated learning, guys. That is what we are doing for our students. They read the marketing book. They are summarizing what are the key points. The 6 points is must. The good to know are all the dancing, the birds flying. That's good to know. But the must know are the 6 points. Guys, it's not brain surgery. Just know the tricks behind it. Okay? So assessment planning, when you do assessment planning assessment tasks, communicate the assessment plan to the student, which you already do in the first week. Planning the assessment, refer to the assessment versus students' learning time. Okay, SLP, how much time do they have? Diversity of assessment, weightage of assessment, and also coverage of assessment. These are things that you need to look at. How much to cover? Take note, if you're giving one assignment or assessment, don't cover the whole syllabus of this. Cry. Okay, your whole syllabus, got few things, got 10 things. If this assignment will cover 3 things, none of it's now 4 things and so on. And the accumulation of assessments will cover everything. All right. Conducting both formative and summative assessment, always remember to do that. All right. My advice is to do that. Types of assessment, if you're talking to the summative side, we have coursework, examination, and tests. Just certain examples. Then we are looking into review of assessment methodologies and currency with development in best practice. You look at your assessment, a lot of assessment you're using, you're teaching the subject for 10 years. Same questions. Same questions. I have seen something when we do audit, we do checks. Sama really. Okay? The world also changed already. Assessment also should evolve. Okay? So it's validity and reliability. How valid is it? Because every assessment must be fair, valid, and reliable. Fairness is about ensuring the assessment is accessible to students. You got your students come in minimum requirements, you got to make sure it is suitable and capable for them to do. Two, you don't have an assessment that requires students to spend 1,000 ringgit to buy resources. That's what I'm going to say. Unless everyone is sponsored by a party. Because if I cannot afford 1,000, I cannot do assessment. And that's why it's fair. Sometimes we forget. Okay? Validity is concerned with whether an assessment measures what is claimed. You need to make sure your assessment that you're measuring students' communication skill, not doing something that's measuring something else. All right? You teach students how to swim, but the assessment is merentas desa. The test is merentas desa, must finish in 3 hours, but your class whole semester is belajar berenang. Hey, it happens, huh? There are many years I've been looking into this, doing audits, even head of my school the last time in the department. I say, so you got to remember. And reliability refers to an assessment being consistent over time and across assessors. I pakai this tool, it's effective. She pakai the tool, it's effective. The student tukar, a new batch of students use the same tool, it is still effective. That is called reliability. How reliable is the assessment? And all of these are critical in achieving our goals. As a recap, what we covered, ladies and gentlemen, it was a fun 2.5 hours. I hope it was good for you. It's all right. You all learn about this. Number one, before I go to this, my future trainings, I go different aspects. I will also speak on methods pertaining to the MQF. Right? Please join. Okay, take it for those of you who know, take it as a point of reference and a point of refreshment. Refresher. And actually today you should get all the new kids to join. So, all right. Now, what's OBE? We have covered William Spady. Okay, and his concept of what OBE is outcomes-based education. It is not what you want to teach, but what the students need to attain. Okay, and the relevancy of this information itself. How relevant is that information to the development? That's importance. We need to be competitive, guys. Number one, I'm not talking about the money first. I'm talking about when the student come to us, they get that degree must worth something. The degree must go out and get a job, must be able for them to be relevant when they come out. After 5 years, we don't guarantee it. It's normal because knowledge has relevancy of duration, right? But that is important. 3, here we practice. We look at it, but it is in a way, it is a best practice concept. All right. We want you all to look at it and to implement it in your own way. There are many ways of looking at it, but I want to stress when you talk about a UOW thing, I always emphasize and encourage my colleagues to do formative assessment and formative feedback because it will be very beneficial. And finally, we have this, the closing the loop called assessment. A good assessment at the end of the day, you will be able to gauge whether what you have done is correct, proper, and with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Terima kasih. I hope to see you when I see you in another time. All right, take care. Have a very good weekend. See you. Goodbye. The recordings will be available in the near future at a simple cost of 9 ringgit and 99. Thanks, my Penang colleagues. Bye bye. All right, see you.